This is a story I hate to bring you, but I said this would be the next update. Put it up full mass. An arrest has been made in the connection in the death of an HBCU student who died allegedly because of hazing to join a fraternity. Caleb McCray on the left, a graduate of Southern University and member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, was arrested in connection with the death of Caleb Wilson on the right. Sources confirmed to local news outlet WAFB News 9 that the Baton Rouge Police arrested Mr. McCray, charged him with criminal hazing and manslaughter. The national headquarters of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, Inc. said they are supporting law enforcement's investigation into Wilson's death. Let me give you some background. McCray's arrest comes after Wilson, a junior mechanical engineering student and member of the marching band at Southern University, died on the 27th of February after he allegedly took part in a hazing ritual while pledging the fraternity. Initial reports to the authorities about the incident claimed the college student was standing in a line in a park and collapsed. Days later, sources claimed that was untrue. Put up the DA. So the East Baton Rouge District Attorney, Hilla Moore, said around 15 to 20 people were at the warehouse where the young Mr. Wilson collapsed, which included frat members. It included pledges for Omega Psi Phi fraternity. A source said that the pledges at the unsanctioned event would stand single file and the person in line would be punched with a boxing glove before running to the back of the line. This continued throughout the line. The source said after Wilson was punched, he ran to the back of the line, collapsed, and started seizing. So you may wonder, well, all of those individuals there, no one called the police. Now, while obviously, some people probably did have their cells, the pledges did not at this time. So the pledges did not have access to their cell phones, and it is unknown if the members conducting the ritual had theirs, but no call was made to 911. The source added that 15 minutes passed before Wilson was put into a car and brought to the hospital. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. I want to be very clear. I've received some emails, and naturally, there are executive leaders who are upset because truth stepped on their toes. What principles are you upholding when you are pledging to join an organization based on principles, but no one stood on the principle based? The entire story was fabricated. It was false. This young man, engineering student, wanted to solve problems. As I said before, he's gone. The family that he would have had is gone. Children he would have fathered, gone. The inventions he would have made, gone. The student who has been arrested, bright, educated, want to solve problems. Life is basically ruined. It's a culture thing, I know. I'm a college professor. I teach at an HBCU myself. Hazing is illegal. Hazing is against policy. But beyond that, it's adversarial to the nature of love and brotherhood. The violence and the aggression. As I said before, I'm not talking about taking an egg to class and it not cracking. We're talking about people who actually have to put their life and limb on the line to join something that has principle. Now, if you told me you were the Piru Bloods, that's a different context and culture. But you're not. You're Omega Psi Phi. There's more. Between 8 and 10 people could be arrested for Wilson's death. However, the DA said that only one actual frat member has come in for questioning. He said the rest of the frat members have hired lawyers, and likely their parents are heavily involved, and refused to answer questions. After Wilson's death, Southern Campus Organization activities were suspended. Did you hear that number? 8 to 10 well-educated, promising young black males may be arrested in connection to a murder. It ain't worth it. McCray's lawyer, attorney Dr. Philip M. Robinson, issued the following statement. Quote, as legal counsel for Caleb McCray, I wish to address the charges that have been brought against my client in connection with the tragic death of Caleb Wilson. First and foremost, we extend our deepest condolences to the Wilson family. The loss of such a bright light is an immeasurable tragedy, and our hearts go out to all who knew and loved Caleb Wilson. The charges brought against Mr. Caleb McCray are serious, and we acknowledge the gravity of this matter. However, it continues, it is essential to remember that an accusation is not proof of guilt. At this time, I have not been presented with any evidence to support such serious accusations. I maintain my client's innocence and urge the public to withhold rushing to judgment until all evidence is heard. Many young lives in our community have been altered by this tragedy. The impact has been felt throughout Southern University, particularly within the renowned Southern University Marching Band, the Human Jukebox, and among all families involved. Mr. McCray should be afforded the opportunity to establish his innocence in the court of law. At this time, we are thoroughly reviewing all evidence and circumstances surrounding this case. We are committed to ensuring that all facts are properly examined and the due process is followed. Many details being reported in the media may be incomplete, false, or lack proper context. Mr. McCray and his family will not be making public statements during this difficult time. We ask that their privacy be respected as the legal proceedings move forward. Any further inquiries should be directed to our office. Our thoughts remain with all those affected by this tragedy, and we are committed to ensuring that justice is served through a fair, thorough legal process. To the attorney, I read your entire statement in full. Nobody else will. Because I think it's important to get this on record. You're involved in a policy changing and policy shaping case, regardless of how it turns out. Content creator, the king of the reads, claims in the next post, quote, and the attorney, Dr. Philip Robinson, representing Caleb McCray, who was arrested, is a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, Inc. as well. For what it is worth, according to the bio information on the attorney's website, it at least confirmed he's a former student of Southern University. but the website does not state he is a former member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. I'm still trying to confirm one way or the other. Meanwhile, the plot for the fraternity at the university was seen disassembled on the campus. No information was available for why and how the letters were taken off the wall. University officials were not aware of the incident, and they do not know how it happened. Man. Culture runs deep. Culture runs deep. There has to be a level of enforcement. Many fraternities, they have suspended these arcane operations. It's gone. One person dying is too many. All right, Jordan, thoughts?
I'm with you entirely. It's not worth it. We've seen stories like this for years. When I was a reporter in college, there was a fraternity that had hospitalized a young man with their hazing rituals. Luckily, he wasn't. He didn't lose his life, but the way that they hazed him was just deliberately and unnecessarily violent. Like you're saying, there are many other ways. Like bring an egg to class without dropping it. There are other ways to kind of make these people ingratiate themselves to you, or bring them into the fold in a way that makes them appreciate the bond. Whether it's doing the laundry, cleaning the fraternity house, doing something like that, make them do chores for their freshman year. There are many other ways to haze, if you want to use that word, that aren't violent, or especially we've seen in other cases that have gone awry, mass consumption of alcohol, or even like mass consumption of anything. There have been kids who have died from mass consumption of water as part of a hazing ritual. If you're trying to establish a firm brotherhood that's going to last the rest of your life, respect them as well. Respect these pledges. So these situations are totally avoidable, and it's on all of these young men to be better and to show that they are the upstanding young gentlemen that they want to become.
There you go. Unfortunately, once again, there will be an update.